As we've known for some time now, Dishonored 2 will naturally have two playable characters, Corvo Atano from Dishonored 1 and Emily Corvo. Now, Arkane decided to take to a Bethesda.net blog post today to explain what sets these two characters apart from each other aside from the obvious difference. And we have some various comments, the first of which is from the co-creative director on Dishonored 2, Harvey Smith, and he spoke a little bit about the three core pillars of Emily as a person. And he said, quote, "When we approach a character like Emily, we need to know her history, her attitude, even her hobbies. But at a meta level as a game developer, we need to know what her pillars are. And so for Emily, we arrived at Dunwall, Empress, Assassin. Except for this one tragic moment during the rat plague in the first Dishonored, Emily's had a pretty good upbringing." Now naturally, after the events of Dishonored 1, Corvo trained Emily to defend herself with great aplomb in case her enemies ever returned, and of course that's why she's been moulded into this assassin that we've seen quite a bit of now in gameplay and whatnot. Now naturally, the main difference between the two characters is of course going to be the powers that they can utilise. Emily's powers are all new and are naturally completely different to that of Corvo. And the lead designer, Dinga Bakaba, whose name I probably just butchered, so excuse me for that, said, quote, "In a way you can see the outsider marks people according to their personalities. She's an empress, she's younger, she has a different personality, so her powers reflect that. She has a lot of powers that allow her to subdue the will of others." Now, we saw some of these on display at the gameplay they showed us at E3, where you have sort of, say, the enthrall ability, where, you know, well, it's sort of called mesmerise, but it's kind of the same thing, where you can attract the attention of foes. Or you also got the domino, which I really like the look of, where you basically link enemies together. So, say you link, you know, a group of 4 enemies together, you shoot one of them in the face, they're all going to die like they've all been shot in the face, or whatever you happen to choose as your method of dispatching them. Now naturally with Corvo, he has all of the powers that he had in the original game, but they've also been extended and enhanced, and there's going to be upgrades and stuff to these powers. I have no doubt they're going to work a bit differently to how we saw them in Dishonored 1. And Bakaba said, quote, "You now have upgrades you can acquire and you have a power tree. I think players will have an interesting experience playing the game once with Emily and once with Corvo, because different powers mean different solutions to problems and a different experience." Now naturally, a big difference for Corvo from the first game is that he speaks this time around. In Dishonored 1, he was the fine tradition of the silent protagonist. Now I'm actually glad that they have him speak this time, because obviously when you've got two of the main characters, Emily and Corvo, interacting with each other, it would be weird. Obviously in the first game he didn't really speak at all. He had sort of people talk at him and give him quests, and that was about it. And you know, it didn't really flesh him out terribly as a character. You got a feel of him through his actions, how you played him, but he didn't have a personality of his own. It's kind of like what personality you gave him based upon the choices that you made and that sort of thing. And obviously the sort of person he is to be a royal protector, and then, you know, Dishonored and yada yada yada. But you get my point. Now, what's really cool, that I didn't actually know this before, is that they managed to get Stephen Russell for the voice, who was the voice of Garrett in the first Thief. Going to be a bit of a throwback for a lot of Thief fans there. And I'm actually looking at Corvo's new outfit for Dishonored 2, and it actually looks really, really cool. A fair bit cooler, shall we say, than his outfit in Dishonored 1. I did actually cosplay his outfit from Dishonored 1, and it ain't very good for hot weather. Let me just put it that way. This one looks a bit better, so I might add that to my cosplay list. We'll have to see. Thank you very much for listening, though, guys. Thank you. Just said thank you again. Thank you twice, apparently. I'll see you next time.